much, Arjun. So let me get started. So I work within the AI lab, so definitely all of AI, and I'm the senior technical researcher within version 1. And my work sits within the intersection of AI ethics, engineering, and research. So
I'm something of a karaoke connoisseur.
Keith, continue.
yeah. So when we talk about AI, there was lots of talk on responsible AI governance and how do we do it ethically and responsibly. So I started doing this about 2 years ago, started writing about responsible AI, why it is important, and why we need to start thinking even before the AI Act was out. So simple question was like, how can we build AI that doesn't just work, but ethically? So this became my compass and my guiding question. And responsible AI is just a slogan, so it's about the actual practice and the principles that we can apply how to do this. So last year, I looked at the NIST AI framework, that is within the US, the Public Organization for Standards. They work in creating these principles for AI within the 4 pillars of govern, map, measure, and manage. So I mapped the UK's ICO framework and the BSA framework to the NIST and also the GDPR, and there were lots of gaps in it. And I found that the NIST is very comprehensive in the sense that they don't just tell you like, oh, you have all these high-level things to do. We don't know exactly how to do, but there are actually uh, subtopics and ideas within it where you can actually implement it into practice. So a POC is an ethical checkpoint where you can mark all these where things go. So it is important to bake your questions into the ethical checkpoints so that you don't have to conduct postmortems when your reputation is only at risk at that point. So I will go into 3 small apps we created. It's only small in the scale, but it had created a good impact, a significant impact on humanity. So first app I want to talk about is Simply Text. So that's where inclusion meets innovation. So as you might have guessed, the title is Simply Text, and it is a tool that simplifies text for dyslexic individuals. So we did this in collaboration with Dyslexia Ireland, and accessibility was not just a bolt-on. It was a conscious decision that was made from design at start. And we won the Exceptional AI Project of the Year CIO IT Leaders Award 2024. So it was fairness, clarity was baked in from the POC stage till production and post-production. So don't worry, I'm just talking about the apps. I have demos later on to show you how it works in action. So next is TNO Museum. How many have you been to the National Museum of Computing in Bletchley Park? So we did that in collaboration with them, and it is where inclusion meets education. And how many you have children and like going to a museum is daunting, and raise your hands, museum is a really bad, horrible experience. Yeah, so during my childhood, my parents tried to take me to museums, and it was totally dreadful. So I am neurodivergent myself. I was not sure whether I should say it out loud, but the talks with the AI for good and considering everybody who is in the room and outside the room, it was very important. So how do we do that? Build empathy with AI. So you can bring history to life to anybody, a child. So I'll show you how that works in a while. So, and we were the finalists for the Microsoft Inclusion Changemaker of the Award 2024. And inclusion was a requirement from the start. And it was baked in from design to deployment. And everybody of you go by a name. Obviously, we all have names. So the next app I want to talk to you is about Swan, where inclusion meets belonging. So it started as an initiative with Swan starts with a name. So everybody of you introduce, hey, I am so-and-so. So name is our identity. So everybody likes the names to be pronounced correctly. So in a very multicultural, diverse environment, we want to make sure that our names are pronounced correctly because it's a core part of our identity and built for belongingness. So Authentically, I would say that Swan is currently in the POC stage where it would be in post-production later on. So I have a disclaimer in the demo saying that it's in the POC stage, so where guardrails are built in. So it is a universal pledge where organizations come together to say that each one of you working, your name is important, and it's an open invitation for organizations to join this pledge. And obviously, you might be looking for what I've learned so far. So principles need practice and procedures. So how can you scale? Only if you have procedures set with a structure in place, you can grow. So the NIST anchored approach of mine, I bring that to all the projects and also POCs I'm involved with. So inclusion is design built in. And if you design for the minority, for the neurodivergent, for anybody, so you design for everybody practically. So, and it's okay to say and be honest about maturity, where maturity actually is, whether you're in the POC stage, whether you have to mention what guardrails are in place and document your risks so that unless you document, you cannot manage them. So coming back to like, what can you take away from this? So I have a small playbook. So the first questions that I ask is around the two words of harm and help. Who can it harm? So when you're starting to be on a project, who is going to harm and who is it going to help? So you write that down. So that is my ethical checkpoint for every project POC that I start on. And I use one framework, that's the NIST vocabulary. Sorry, Andrew, for another framework. So it's just to use one terminology, one framework for your whole organization so that you're not confusing everybody with this framework, that framework, you need to follow this. Just standardize everything. So, and prototype with real people. So with the likes of TNMOC Mate and Simply Text, we worked with the museum and the people actually going to use the app and co-design with your actual users. So, and also be public about limits, how many users can use it. Be more proactive about setting expectations, what you can label it as POC or not POC, and what the risks are. So we can get into the demos. Was the, see, so going to like, I read a lot of papers by looking at my download folders. You might think like, so picking an academic paper, most people find it very hard, and especially people with learning disabilities and dyslexia and other learning abilities. You would have to cater to them. So I've just uploaded the paper into it. So there are different settings in which people sometimes find with double negatives hard, shortened. So these are the different. You can also have the guiding speed. So if you wanted to read slowly, fast, so that is also there. And I click start here, so it is processing. One of my colleagues said, oh, do your offerings to the demo go so that your apps work well. So hopefully the offerings are accepted. So we'll give it a bit of a time for it to process. So here you can see that the document is come off, so it has processed all the 15 pages. And so if you click on a section, hopefully, yeah, so here you have the original and the simplified version. So you can click on simplify as many number of times so that a complex paper, like Andrew was talking about how complex it is to like a PhD thesis, to simplify it and understand. So you can click simplify as much as you want, and there's a read aloud option as well. So hopefully it works.
Intelligence in natural brains is different from the deep learning systems we use today. These differences come from how each learns to understand and interact with the world to achieve their goals. Natural learning systems learn by engaging with their environment.
So that's a sample, and we also have the pointer as well, where when we have eye coordination difficulties, I love this in Copilot where literally the cursor moves around and you're able to follow the reading pattern. So this is one of them. So this was in collaboration with Dyslexia Ireland. And let's go to the next app. So this is the museum app we developed for National Museum of Computing, Bletchley Park. So this is how you start. So we all are really ethical people here, so please don't overburden the museum. This is production, so don't click the link and all the people get. So when you enter the museum, you scan a QR code and you get this, and you can select.
Hello, young explorers. I'm very excited to welcome you to the National Museum of Computing. I hope all of you are excited today to be here. My name is Alan Turing, and I'm thrilled to see so many bright faces here today. So, are you ready to have an amazing time and learn some mind-boggling things about the world of computing? Fantastic. Before we dive in, I have a few tips for you. To understand the museum exhibits even better, we have a wonderful tool called TNMOC Mate, implemented by version 1's AI Labs. It's like having a personal guide right on your phone. Before you open the app, put on your headphones, then choose a persona that suits you and your preferred language. Just like picking your favorite character in a story. Now, remember, this museum is like a treasure trove of knowledge, and I want you all to explore, ask questions, and have fun. If you have any questions or need help, don't hesitate to ask our friendly staff. So, my dear friends, enjoy your adventure in the world of computing here at the National Museum of Computing.
So there are various languages, and when you go
Use the app in vertical orientation.
this is usually within the mobile app where you scan the code, and there are different rooms and there are instructions on the headphones that you get how to follow. So there are different personas as well. So when you click next, it'll give you all the instructions.
Please put on headphones to fully.
Just not going through
After
all of that. So
you can also choose your preferred language from the available options.
So this is very child friendly, and anybody can go in. Whether UK has a lot of visitors from different parts of the world, globe, language, culture. So it is for anybody to use the app and understand without. And the volunteers within the museum are also less burdened because everybody can have their own personal journey within the museum. And this has made TNMOC the most accessible museum in the world. And here you can select a persona, so you can see the little thinkers from 6 to 11 and going onward. So you can select any of the ages. So if I go for 6 and select English, and yeah, so you can explore the museum, and you can select different rooms, and you have.
Welcome, everyone,
personas
to the
for you.
Colossus Gallery, a place where history and innovation intertwine seamlessly. I'm Betty Oliver, and I'm truly delighted to guide you through this incredible journey into the world of computing. In this gallery, we pay homage to the culmination of my team's ingenuity, the Colossus computer. As you explore, you'll have the privilege of witnessing our fully operational reconstruction of this iconic machine, a true marvel that played a pivotal role in code-breaking during World War II. Here, you will also encounter a working rebuild of the proof-of-concept demonstrator for Ernie, the premium bond number generator. This ingenious creation, conceived in 1956 by the very minds behind Colossus, represents a bridge between history and the ever-evolving landscape of technology. As we delve further into the Colossus Gallery, you will step back in time to witness the wartime innovations that birthed these machines, and you will also glimpse the promising future of computing.
So I'm not giving spoilers. So get off to Bletchley and go to the TNMOC and have a look at the whole app that we've done. So next is one. So as I said, there is a disclaimer at the end saying that is a proof of concept. So, and there are different languages where you can select. So I will go Indian. And one of our developers which is responsible for the app. So, and when you click submit, it'll take a while. So it'll actually show you how your name is to be pronounced in the certain language. And you can have an audio file that you can download it, so you can attach it to your email signature. And we have within our organization hashtags, sworn, and we write in our signatures how our name is pronounced so that everybody takes time to pronounce your name properly. So click it.
Vishal Padma.
And you can hear it as many times. And if you click on the link, you can download your file as well. So to come to the end, closing, I believe that technology is to serve humanity, and we have to deploy with a human conscience. So if it is not ethical, it is not ready. So I hope you enjoyed all our apps, and I'll be there tomorrow and today as well if you want to talk to me. Thank you very much.